Hello everyone and welcome to Aquaponics Revolution.
I am your host, Jonathan, and today I have a special treat for you.
A first-hand account of one of our dedicated students who embraced the principles of our step-by-step training Holistic Aquaponics and created a thriving oasis right in his own backyard.
But before we dive into the details, let me remind you what Holistic Aquaponics is all about.
It's not just a gardening method. It's a way of life that combines aquaponics with a multitude of functions, creating a self-sustaining ecosystem where fish and plants thrive together, benefiting each other in a perfect harmony. I use it as a pond, a pool, a source of nutrient for my classic garden, and a place to reconnect with nature. Today we have the pleasure of meeting Graham, who embarked on this exciting journey of transforming his backyard into a flourishing heaven. We will learn about his challenges, triumphs, and incredible results he created by following the step-by-step training Holistic Aquaponics.
So, without further ado, let's hear directly from Graham about his experience with Holistic Aquaponics and the beautiful oasis he has created in his own backyard. Graham, thank you very much for welcoming me in your place. What brings you to aquaponics?
The very first time growing my vegetable gardens, I used to forget to water them. So I thought, how can I do it where I don't have to remember the water? And I started to look up the opportunity of aquaponics, and then started to.
So the first thing, the first thing was to kind of save the resources, limit the use of water for your garden.
Be able to control it easier. So that was the first time I pushed me towards aquaponics.
Nice.
And then I started to look online, and the amount of stuff online was helped guide me through different things. Few mistakes in the early setup, but I learned that. Your side helped heaps.
Thank you.
It's,
Thank you.
And then sort of grew from there.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. And so, did you have an interest with fish, or you just went to fish? You go fishing sometimes.
Yeah. Go to Lake Eildon, where we used to go holidays up at Lake Eildon. So always loved fishing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And what do you do for a living, Graham?
I'm a fitter and turner. So I do maintenance on machinery.
Yeah, so you are like already good with your hands, yeah?
yeah, I'm used to working.
Because we can see the work you have done. I will film after this aquaponic system at the back. But the first one you built already, we can see that there is a bit of engineering behind this, yeah?
Yeah, I started off with wood, and the weight of the wood started to stretch.
Yes.
So that's why I went for the pallet racking, and then I just prettied it up by putting the stuff on it.
Yeah. And it looks very natural. Everything you do looks very natural. We don't have plastic or anything like this here. No apparent plastic, right? You are very, you have a high focus on aesthetic, on what you do, which is
look natural.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why eventually with this, I was so wrapped that I could go this way.
Yeah, which is something I really also think is very important when you have something in your backyard. It's good to have it looking good and not just producing food, but also the energy around and everything. Yeah.
And that's what I've always wanted to, even when we first moved here.
Yeah.
Have like outside ponds and that.
Yeah.
But the beauty of this is it's an outside pond, but I can also have me vegetables growing in it and stuff like that. So it's resourceful rather than just being a. In the past, when I tried originally, I had a 6-foot fish tank there. I tried to grow fish and all, but getting the filters right and all that sort of stuff, I used to lose them all the time. It was so finicky to get it right.
Yes.
A lot of messing around with it. But once I started to set up, particularly this one, set up with the grow beds, it was so much easier to look after.
Yes.
And then I stopped losing fish. So that was amazing.
So the big volume really helps to have a good balance in the system, and it's way easier to maintain. And sometimes when I talk about aquaponics, people are very scared to lose their fish, and they think, oh, it's too much science, I'm scared of it. Personally, I think it's not that hard. What is your point of view on this?
I think, and that's what I've learned the more I've sort of looked at sites on the computer and looked at your site, is that if you can get it more and more to natural, more and more to nature, it just looks after itself. Like I say, I was surprised with setting up with the grow beds and using them as the filtration. Yeah. It's made it so much easier to keep the fish alive. Because I did used to lose a lot of fish. I'd get fish, even get them to a good size, and then I'd lose them because the filter would block up or I hadn't got to it early. But here, particularly on the old system, once I got it all balanced and everything right, very minimal things I have to do to work on it.
Yeah,
so, It's been good.
Yeah, and I think the bigger the system and the easier it is to maintain it, yeah?
Yeah, true.
And that's probably what you will find with this one.
Yeah.
Because this one you got a bit more volume than the other one, yeah?
Yeah. I think this volume, it works out probably around 2,000 litres, 2,500
Yes.
litres.
This
We're
one
here,
is
we're looking
twice.
between 5 and 6, yeah.
Yeah. That's as much, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you switched to your first system to holistic.
Yep.
So what make you go towards holistic?
The main reason is I started to get trout for the system,
Yeah.
mainly because trout grow so fast.
Yes.
You know, I tried with native fish, and they're good, but they're very slow growers.
Yes,
But the
if you
trout
want to
grows so
produce
fast.
and eat the fish,
Yeah.
trout is a very nice species for that, yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and with the old system,
Yeah.
the water depth is only about 400 deep, 400 to 500 deep, and I found during summer it warmed up too much, and I started losing trout.
Yes.
They'd die.
Yeah.
So that's when I started. How can I make them last longer?
Yes.
And one of the thoughts was when I looked at your site, when you set up your system like this, when you go to the depth, it's a lot easier to look after them.
Exactly,
So
yes. Yeah, the
managed
deeper
to-
the pond is, the better it is.
Yeah.
And how deep did you go here?
At the deepest end, it's about 1.5,
1.5,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just been- I've been
Yeah,
there, so,
yeah. And you got this tree here.
Yep.
So you got a bit of shade on the pond.
Yeah,
You don't
but-
really realize today because it's very overcast.
Yeah. I planted a lot of plants around the edge to try and get the shade,
Yes.
and some of the native, like that, I picked that one out. That grows quite big as a bush.
Nice.
So because the afternoon sun comes down that side,
I see.
So we'll shade it from there. So
Yeah.
as it grows, we'll
Yeah.
be able to get the coverage.
Yeah.
And I've started. They've taken off real good. I made the raft like the one that's in
Yes.
your system,
Yes.
and that's already started to grow. So that'll give coverage.
Yes.
And the other, just the natural growing of the other water plants there.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that'll give the coverage.
Yeah, the raft is a really good way to keep some shade in the pond.
Yeah.
But also because it's made out of foam,
Yeah.
it gives an insulation from the sun. So it really helps.
Yeah.
The more surface of raft you have, and the better you will be able to
Yep.
manage the temperature. But the shade is important as well. It's multiple. You got multiple factors. So the shade, like the trees around, as you say, the plants, the depth of the pond, and the raft, and then the grow bed. The exposition of the grow bed is quite important as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's quite impressive what you have done here.
Yeah.
And so, how long did it take you to build this system?
I've got a friend who's he does landscaping.
Yeah.
Or excavation. He's got.
Andrew, yeah.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a 24-ton excavator.
Yes, yes.
But he said, I'll help you. He said, we'll get a small excavator.
Yeah,
So we've got
because
a
how
small-
can you bring an excavator here?
We've just come through the small excavator. They come into, I think it was 1 metre.
Oh,
and
okay.
It was just enough to come in the backyard.
Wow.
And Andrew, because he's an experienced excavator,
Yeah.
he come around. He wanted to help because he was keen as well. He loves fish, and he helped me dig it out. So we dug the basic pond out. I reckon it only took about 3 or 4 hours. And because he's well set up, the main thing he said, you're going to have a lot of extra soil.
Yeah.
So he's got a truck because of his business. So he was digging it out, and he had his actually his father was giving us a hand, Greg. He was taking the excess soil straight in the truck, so we were able to get rid of it straight away.
Very easy.
Yeah, and so the basics was done then. That was within a day.
Yeah.
And then I had, I think, a week off work. Might have been 2 weeks all up. But then I just slowly kept going from there.
Yeah.
This 6 weeks now is what it is. So,
Now it's 6 weeks.
yeah, 6 weeks now. There's a few more things I'd like to finish off.
Yeah, but now it's kind of little finishing. The setup is done, right?
Yeah, more
But it took you
aesthetics.
what, 2 weeks off work or something?
Yeah,
like
2
this?
weeks off work.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
2
really
weeks, and I
impressive.
was able to get it to the point where I was ready to put fish in.
Yes.
And that was a little bit of a hard one to learn. First off, because I was so keen to get the fish in there,
Yeah.
I filled it up with water, and then I put one of the trout in. I put one of the tiger trout in. The hybrid
Yes.
ones.
Yes.
And I didn't realise it was water straight from the tap.
Yeah.
And he ended up dying the next day.
Oh,
With
yeah.
I went online and started looking at the chlorine and fluoride in the water. They say you need at least 3 days. So.
Yeah. It needs to evaporate, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
the
after I did
turtle
that-
is coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
got
take
the
a little
turtle.
shot of this one. She looks lovely. So that's a snakehead turtle?
I'm not sure.
Looks like it. That's a very Australian species.
Yeah.
We don't have this in Europe. Looking fantastic. Do you feed her specifically, or she finds the food in the system?
I've started in this system. I've started to feed them.
Oh my God.
Generally, they get the food themselves.
Yeah.
They eat excess of the trout food,
Yeah.
or the plants off, and you see them at the plants.
So you
I've
said,
noticed I've got an eel in there as well.
Yeah.
And he comes up underneath the roots of the raft.
oh, nice, very nice. Hello, you. Very nice. Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. That was very interesting conversation. So yeah, so you said 2 weeks of work. So would you, of course, you're a very handy person.
Yeah.
Would you think it was hard to do, or do you think it's doable for anyone?
No, I think the hardest thing was digging the depth.
Digging, yeah, that's where you
And that's
have
what was
some
fortunate for
physical
me.
work. Yeah.
I had my friend that he was in the business and he
Yeah.
was real keen to help.
Yeah.
So it was great. I think if I was going to do it, like do more, like I've had, my daughter, she's been showing all her friends and they say, oh, what, you should do it for a job and stuff like that. So, but I'm too old to change jobs. If I was going to do it again, I think what I'd do is you hire someone to dig it out.
Yeah.
And the rest, because it takes just time.
Yeah, and the rest is,
Yeah.
I mean, if you like it, like me, when you got the passion, it's just
Yeah.
pleasure doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly,
So you
yeah.
do little projects.
Bit by bit, yeah.
But myself, I had to dig it by hand. Was a very big job.
Yeah, it was
And
nice.
when you have someone digging it for you, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So the line of the rocks, I suppose there's little things you learn. Like I've got a lot of the river pebbles.
Yeah.
And when I first filled it, the water looked like coffee.
Yes.
So
exactly.
I had to-
There is a bit of clay on it.
Yeah, and it was taking a long time to settle. I was a bit impatient. I wanted to get it going.
Yeah.
So I drained it and then refilled it again.
Yeah.
And did that a couple of times and then it come good.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the trick is to use gypsum in this case.
Oh,
yeah, because
really?
gypsum is a chloride. Basically, it's linking the clay particles together, makes them big, and then they sink.
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. But changing the water, is
Yeah.
also a good solution.
And that's fixing it for me.
And so you followed the training for that, the step by step.
Yeah. I got through a training and I followed that step and it really helped. I
It's-
suppose what I learned over there, because I've been doing this, I think my first system would have been probably at least 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I reckon. And you make lots of mistakes and then you find
Yeah.
out by following your system, I didn't make very minimal mistakes.
Yeah, you know
Because
where you
I
are
knew what I was
going, you
doing,
just
yeah.
repeat the action.
Yeah, and you just followed it through. And
Adapt it.
and obviously been able to see what I wanted was what you already had.
Yeah.
So I just copied through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it worked well.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And in terms of budgets, do you have an idea of how much you spent into this project?
I think I've been trying to work it through. The most expensive part was the liner. That was $3,000 for the
Yeah,
liner.
liner is getting expensive.
Yeah, the liner was most
yeah.
expensive. With the rocks, I think all up, it's probably looking around 5,000 to 6,000.
Yeah,
I'd
okay.
say.
Yeah. Australian dollars.
Yeah, Australian dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I suppose once I went this far, and this is my friend that give me a hand digging it out.
Yeah.
He said, you're better off do it properly rather than.
Of course. When you
rather than-
invest the time, you
Yeah.
want to do it right the first time, and
Yeah.
I think that's what you did. You achieved an excellent result.
Yeah. So when I got the pump that you recommended on your thing, the Oasis pump.
Yes,
And the same pump, so I
exactly.
knew the pump was going to be right.
Yes.
And so then I got the air bubblers again because I wanted to make sure it's system there.
Yeah,
So I got
yeah.
the Oasis air bubbler and I got a big air bubbler rather than a small one.
Yes.
So I went there, and then the UV filter, I got the same brand UV filter. So everything
I see.
together,
Yeah.
It's more expensive than
Yeah.
I could see it when I went online on eBay, and you can get them cheap. But
Yes.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, well, the thing is the power consumption, because this
Yeah.
brand, Oasis,
Yeah.
is very good in terms of minimal power consumption for maximum output. It's strange. And also the time it lasts.
Yeah.
It lasts way longer than a pump that's
Yeah.
coming, I mean, they're all coming from China, but a cheap pump,
Yeah.
generally you have it for 1 year and then it's dead.
Yeah.
While those ones, I had mine for, I don't know, maybe 5 years. It lasts
Yeah.
very, very long. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So I understand. Being a tradesman, I understand that you put the money up front, it's better in the long term.
Exactly. Yes. Good.
But they say the poor man pays twice.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Cheap things are not cheap. You
Yeah,
pay them
yeah,
twice, exactly. Yeah, even
Yeah.
more sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, and did you involve your family in the project, or was it just you working on this?
Myself, when it comes to things heavy, I got a son and a daughter. They're both in their early 30s.
Yeah.
And so anything that was heavy, I'd get my son to come and help, and he was keen to help. My daughter, she really liked it. I actually made a small system for her.
Yeah.
At her place.
Yeah.
And she's been adapting to that. She come and seen this one, so they've been real
Nice.
keen with it. She loves her system at home. She had a veranda out the front of a place where she's renting.
Yeah.
And it was sort of an empty spot and it was in full sun. And I said, well, I could make a small system like this. I made one. It's about, I suppose, 1 metre diameter in half.
Yeah.
And with a grow bed on top.
Yeah, I
And,
saw it, the one you welded with the
with the horseshoes. Yeah.
It's looking fantastic.
Yeah,
Very,
she loves
very
it.
creative. Yeah, very nice.
It come up. I'm real happy with how that came up. Yeah, and I didn't only when I looked at your video, I started to understand the ratio of grow bed to water.
Yeah.
And with her system, I sort of fluked it. I didn't realise, and I've almost got it the ideal ratio. Her system would probably be at least 2 to 1, possibly even more grow bed.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And what happened with that is her water was as clear as
Very
anything.
clear,
Amazing how clear it was.
Nice. Yeah.
So she got our
Just
fish
by
in there.
chance, basically.
Yeah, just by chance. Because it looks like I struggled with it at first. But,
Oh,
so
great.
it's come up well.
Yeah. And so now that it's here, what are you the most happy with? Like, is it the vibe of the system? Is it the production? What do you like the most out of this?
I suppose.
The aesthetic?
Yeah, the aesthetics is nice. Nice to have something that's nice in the backyard.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the fish and things like
Exactly,
that. You know, like I've got trout. I've got an eel. Like I come out of an eel. Normally comes out at night.
Yeah.
I come out last night and there was eel, so I could feed him, and you can see.
And the eel is not attacking the fish, right?
No,
Not at this stage.
No, not at this stage. No, I found in the old system he didn't seem to attack the fish a lot. What he would go after is the yabbies.
Ah, yes.
I reckon he got all the yabbies.
Yeah.
And I've got mussels as well in here, native mussels,
yeah.
just for the filtration.
Nice.
And I'm not sure whether he might have even got some of those. So.
Yeah.
I didn't put any yabbies in this system. I was worried about the yabbies digging into the liner either. So,
Yeah, no.
so I haven't put any yabbies in.
Has never been an issue for me.
Oh,
They
really?
try to dig, but on the liner they are not able to go through. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I thought I was a little bit worried about it. I haven't put any in this system.
So yeah, are the dogs happy? They don't go in the
The
pond?
dogs love it. They haven't got in yet. I haven't encouraged them in.
Yeah.
I had at first some of the plants rolled into the water, so last week I had to get in there and lift them out. And while I was in there, the dogs went round to the wood and they're jumping in there, or they didn't jump in, but they wanted to get in. So I've been hesitant. I've been trying to put them off getting in there, just because I'm knock all the plants and everything over.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so your wife as well, she's on board with this, yeah?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Because you already had one system here and a tank inside.
Yeah.
What was the first thing she said when you say, I want to do something in the garden? Did she say, no, we stop here? Or?
She was worried. She's as long as it looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
She wanted something that's
So
going to look nice.
Yeah.
At first, I've been tossing up about the thought for a while now. She's worried about like any children and things like that.
Yes.
But and that's the thing I've done. I'll put I looked on even though when I looked at the council, because it's a pond, I don't have to have pool fence or anything like that.
Yeah.
What I've done is I put the door closes and I'll put a higher latch up, just
in case, yeah.
yeah, just for security.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Most
good
of the time,
thing.
if we're here, anyone that's coming here, it's our friends.
Yeah.
And we'd be outside with the kids anyway.
Yes.
But it just.
No, that's a very good point.
So that was the thing she was worried about. And
Yeah.
She's actually wrapped with how it's coming up.
Yeah.
Being able to choose the plants and to see the plants already so quickly growing.
Yes.
They've only been a couple of weeks and you can see they're starting to grow.
Yeah, it's a very good environment for plants, aquaponic system, because they got the food, they got the water, and a good ecosystem. So yeah, it's great. And the more plants you put, and the better it is for the fish. So everyone is winning in this type of system. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Do they have any other? Is there anything you want to share with the community?
I think the main thing is the more natural you get it, it looks better and it's easy to look after.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sort of the secret that I've learned.
I agree. Yeah.
In my early days, I'd try to do things, and I'd be looking up and I'd be buying a filter and your different types of filters that you have for fish tanks and things like that.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of work to get right.
Yeah.
But if you to set this system up and doing it naturally, and I suppose understanding some of the ratios and that from your video.
Yeah.
If you do that, it's easy to look after.
Yeah, it look after itself. Really. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great to be able to have fish and have your veggies growing and things like that. So
Exactly. It's
your own
really a
veggies.
win-win system.
Yeah. So
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm
you
real
would
happy with that.
you would encourage people to do those type of things. Yeah.
Like I say,
Yeah, me too, yeah.
if this is a big system, and you're looking at probably $5,000-6,000.
Yeah.
Which it's a lot of money, but you've got to.
Yeah.
What you've got is good.
You got something. You got an ecosystem at home. It's producing food and giving you some really good vibes.
Yeah.
And the beauty is that if you want to do a pond, a normal pond, you will spend this money or even more sometimes to have a good filtration. Here, you got your plants doing the filtration for you, so it's really a win-win.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Graham. I think that's all the question I have. So if we don't have anything else to add, we'll wrap the video here.
No worries. Yep.
Thank you everyone for watching. Bye. So I hope you enjoy this interview as much as I enjoy spending time with Graham. Big congratulations to Graham. I think he has done a very nice work following the training. If you want more information about this training, you will find a link in the description of this video, and you will find me for further videos in the channel Aquaponics Revolution. See you in the next one. Salut!